friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily Martinez and you are at the home of the Forever Theater Kid. We create videos that are based on performance and lifestyle of an actor. I myself am an actor. I am still an actor even though I'm not in anything and the industry is shut down. I am still an artist. My inner monologue. And today I'm really excited because we are doing a DIY that is so essential for right now and does not cost a lot of money, and if you have these materials in your home it might not cost you anything. So today I'm really excited. We are making our very own DIY studio portable voiceover booth thing. I am not an expert DIYer, but I love a craft and I love making DIYs that are essential and really can help us in our industry. So if you want to see how I create, or really Gabe, let's admit, Gabe is really creating this and I'm filming it, but we've been brainstorming how to create this for weeks now. But if you want to see how we create our very own DIY soundproof voiceover booth, make sure to subscribe to my channel and you'll be my Forever Theater Kids, because I truly believe that once you've been in a show once, it never leaves you. We're like a parasite. Takes a long time to get rid of us because we're charismatic and clingy. Just a quick note, I do get asked this sometimes. I do use the Blue Yeti microphone and I'm still working on how to use it. This is the Blue Yeti Nano. It's got the dual action microphone like positioning. It's a great microphone. I'm just still figuring out how to use it with the technology. Like I use GarageBand at the moment. So it's definitely taking some time to get used to it, but as you've seen in a couple of covers, I am working on it. It's getting better and better very slowly. So let's take it on over to the voiceover for the rest of this video.
First, you're going to need a microphone. This is a Yeti Blue Nano. And then you're also going to need some type of windscreen. We teach you how to make one later in the video, so stay tuned. Then you're going to need your box, your container, whichever one that you have at home or something that you can find easily at Target. Some insulation. You can get insulation off Amazon for this specifically, but we actually used a mattress topper. A measuring tape, because measuring is always very, very important for DIYs. You're also going to need some glue, some type of adhesive. We use a mixture of this craft glue. I think the other version of the Gorilla Glue is like E6000. And then a hot glue is another type of adhesive that we used quite a bit in this DIY. We found it very useful. And then some type of precision cutter, scissors are also very useful. I'm going to pass this over to Gabe because he helped so much in this creation of this DIY. This was a project we were working on together, so I'm going to pass it over to him in the voiceover.
What's up, everybody? It's Gabe. As you can see, I'm just getting into our box with my measuring tape and measuring all the dimensions. I want every measurement so that I can make our 7 panels. Top, bottom, another bottom to sandwich the mic stand in between, back, left, right, and front. I'm recording these all on my phone because my handwriting is so dreadful. I will then use these measurements to trace onto the foam, and that's what I'll use to cut out our panels. Remember, 7 of them. Here's the first one. You ready? Here it comes. 3, 2, 1. Movie magic. This is our nice big front panel. 2 bottoms, middle, left, right, top, and front. Now, we actually kind of messed this up the first time. We want to show it to you anyway, because we still used all the foam. But what we did was we cut out all the individual panels with the intention of fitting them in and then gluing them together. What we didn't account for was that this actually left a lot of gaps. It didn't cover the entire box flush. And one of the things that we discovered in our research was that it needs to be flush to the back of the box to prevent any sound from escaping. It looks nice enough here, and there goes the front, and that's more or less what it's going to look like at the end. However, we wanted to do the thing right, and we had enough foam, so we decided to use the panels we'd already cut as a rubric to cut one big piece that would fold into the back of the container and hug the back corners flush so that we can get as much sound as possible retained. Now, guys, if you're submitting for professional voiceover work, the people you're submitting for know the difference. Take the time, do the little things right. Put yourself in the best position to put out a good product. As you can see, right now I'm tracing with Sharpie, whereas before I was tracing with pen. That was a dumb idea. Sharpie shows up really nicely on this foam. Don't overthink it. Even if there's little black smudges on the corners of the foam when you're done, don't worry about it. No one's going to notice it. You want the thing to be done right. Now Emily's getting it with our trusty box cutter. It's not long enough to get through the foam on the first go, so it takes a few cuts. Take your time here, guys. You don't want raggedy edges if you can avoid it. As flat and straight as the edges are, that means that they'll come together nicely, flush, no sound escaping. Now, as you can see, Emily had been about to gouge our lovely wooden dining room table, so she went and got some cardboard. If you got some extra cardboard, some newspaper, something lying around, now's the time to throw it down under the foam. Protect your wood, people. Protect your work surface. Poor Daisy. She had stitches. She had to be in the cone of shame. Easy now, Em. Take it nice and easy. We want nice straight lines so everything fits flush. Now, when we get the final piece out, you'll notice that there's no bottom to it. We kept our two bottom pieces because we already glued them. It fit nicely, and it was two pieces, so we knew that we could get it in pretty flush with a lot of surface contact. We're nearly there, guys. Here it is. There's a couple raggedy edges, but we end up cleaning those up later. I'm gonna kick it back to Em now, guys.
Once you put your foam in, it's really important to make sure everything fits snug, but when you're making it with one piece, it's really important to create a curved type edge. All the other videos that I saw that helped us make this tutorial, they didn't put anything completely flush up in the corners. They made it a nice curve, so I think it helps the sound bounce a little bit more inside whatever type of studio you create. For the microphone, you saw that we made two little squares for this, and one has a slit where the microphone goes in, and the other part of the foam is where the microphone sits safely so that nothing metal is hitting the bottom of the box. Once we figure out that everything is flush and everything fits in, that's when we'll glue it. But first we need to make a couple of trimmings just to make sure that everything fits properly, because this is the part that's really important. You want to make sure that microphone is going to sit as comfortably and as firmly as possible, because when you have a microphone that's moving a lot in the space that you create, you're going to hear that in the sound. So you want to make it snug. You want to make it perfectly fit, like it was made to be in there. And your foam is something that you can easily adjust. So always cut bigger, and then you can adjust on the way out. I think that definitely helps. So for the two pieces of foam that you created for the microphone, you want to glue those together. I thought using the E6000 type glue was pretty useful for this because the drying time was pretty short. I don't think a type of Elmer's glue is going to be strong enough. You really need to use something that's like a little heavy duty because of the material of the foam. You want to make sure that that foam is going to stay. So whether it's hot glue or this E6000 or crazy glue, you also want to let things sit in an open space, because these fumes of this type of glue, since it's so strong, you don't want that sitting with a lid on top, because you'll pass out a little later. So for the box, I am putting a healthy heaping of glue on the inside because I want to make sure that this foam is going to stay. It probably could have gone without any glue, but I wanted to make sure that this was going to stay. I thought it was important. I didn't want to have to adjust it all the time because I wasn't sure, I don't know, will that mess up the sound? So I really press the back of the foam, that's all the way back, but make sure that, again, like I said earlier, that there is still a curve on the sides, because that will help the sound bounce a little bit more. And then I'm just gluing down all the different areas. Kind of any surface that I can cover with glue, I'm using. And then later you'll see that I do go in with hot glue as well, just to give it a little bit more of a firm hold. Also, be a little patient with the glue and the foam, because it is bizarre material that you're gluing to a surface, so it might not hold immediately. So just give it a little bit of time, press it down, be patient, because once you get it to grip nicely, it will grip and it will stay. It did take a little time for us, but it's still holding firm. It doesn't seem like anything's moved in our area of our voiceover booth since we've created this. And since you've cut everything to size and everything is the size that it needs to be, everything should fit perfectly. You know, nothing should be oblong, nothing should be weirdly not fitting. It should all fit perfectly. And then I go in, as you can see here, with a little bit of hot glue on just the edges, just to make sure everything is staying. But be very careful, because if your hot glue is like super strong, it could melt the foam. So you don't want that to happen. My hot glue, I don't think is that strong. So I was just, you know, gluing. I was just gluing to glue. So we found that there were a couple of spaces that seemed like, oh, this could be a spot where sound could get trapped and kind of like hit a hard wall. So any type of scraps that we had, we put in kind of any little spots that weren't quite meshing together, like on the edges. And that actually, like, it worked out really, really well. And I think it actually solidified how everything stayed in place on the voiceover booth. Now I'm going to pass it back over to Gabe, and now he's going to show you how to make your own windscreen out of household items that I'm sure you already have in your home. Take it away, babe.
What's up, everybody? It's Gabe again. So the last component of our sound studio is the windscreen. You've probably seen these. It's those little black circular screens that go in front of the mic to protect the mic from all those plosives. If you don't know what a plosive is, it's a harsh consonant that can cause the mic to crackle, just sound really harsh in the final product. You've probably seen somebody do one of these at one point, so I'm just going to run you through it. It's not that complicated. Mold a wire hanger into a circle, pull a pantyhose over it. It could have been a lot more simple than I made it, if I'm being honest, guys, but what can I say? I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to little things like this. This is going to be a frustrating process, guys. It's going to take a bit of muscle. It's going to take a bit of elbow grease. As you can see by my Band-Aid, I already stabbed myself once with this. So please, please be more careful than I was. Now, I thought I'd be very clever with this. I cut out a front panel that had that little bullseye pattern on it. So that's what I'm using for my rubric, because I want to make sure, again, everything is nice and tight. You could probably just set this windscreen up right in front of the mic and not bother with the front panel at all. But again, if you're going to do the thing, let's do it right. I really want to make sure that everything is as tight and seamless as possible. The sound booth doesn't look like much when it's done, but as hopefully you can hear right now, we're getting some very, very good quality out of this. And I like to think it's because we took the time, got the little things right, made all the lines straight, made everything fit nice and tight. Now this is where you're going to need to get some needle nose pliers, some wire cutters, something. This took an embarrassingly long time. There it is. All right. Good for you. Now there's my little bullseye. That's about the size I want it. Just a little more finagling to get it just right, because I am lightly OCD. You can see I've left a little stem because I want to twist those two ends tight to make sure it stays and keeps its shape. And I also want to use those little sharp edges to jab into the foam to make sure it stays there. You'll see what I mean when we get there. All right, here are the pantyhose that I'm sacrificed for the cause, dear. Lord knows we're not doing shows again anytime soon, so here we go. Man, if somebody just dropped into this video right here, what on earth would they think? Okay, buddy, settle down. Yeah, that's what you get. Right, now we've just got some, I believe that's picture hanging wire, because I want to twist this real tight. I want to make sure that that pantyhose stays nice and tight over the wire hoop. And once I've closed it off here, I'll be able to trim off the excess. All right, that's what I'm going for. That's about the size I want. That's about the shape I want. Now it's time to get to cutting this foam. We are cutting an opening, and then we are sticking the stem of that wire into the foam so it stays tight and flush. I really just eyeballed this, guys, and you know what? I cut a few times. I cut a small circle to see if that would do it, and then I slightly widened it every time. Again, we had tons of time on our hands, so it wasn't a huge issue, but there was no way I was going to rush this because, quite frankly, guys, at this point, we were running out of foam. Again, you can see I got some plastic beneath the foam. I don't want to be cutting into my nice wood table. And that'll about do it. And as you can see, I'm going to take the pointy end of this wire and put it long ways through the foam, wedge the ring in there, and here it is. Not bad, huh? Here's everything we did earlier, and here's the final finishing touch. Like a glove. Well done, you. Yeah. And it's as simple as that, guys. Have fun.
And guys, this is me recording as we speak into the microphone, into the setup that we have that we just showed you. This is what it looks like in our closet when we record. It's cramped, but it works. I'll put a couple of tiny little clips of what our voiceover reels sound like that have been recorded in this very same position in here. But yeah, this is the glamorous life of some voiceover work. Super glamorous and not claustrophobic at all. Crayola Color Wonder markers color only on special paper, so your kids can express their creativity more often, in more places, with less mess. Crayola Color Wonder. It starts with Crayola.
And they're off. At the turn, it's Papa Don't Preach, followed by Tasty Jams. Bringing up the rear are Strange Bedfellows and Apple Juice Break. Closing like a freight train is Apple Juice Break. On the home stretch, it's Tasty, Apple Juice, Tasty, Apple Juice, Tasty, Apple Juice. They're neck and neck. Looks like it'll be a photo finish, folks. And it's Tasty Jams by a nose.
So friends, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see any more DIYs that are specific to lifestyle DIYs or even more specific to the theater industry, things that we can create from home, tell me down below. Give me some ideas because I am at your oyster. What? I am at your disposal. I'm here to serve you in the internet space. So any ideas on videos that you'd like, please tell me down below and I would gladly accept them. I will see you in my next video and thank you so much for watching. So again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in my next video. If you want to see other DIYs that I find to be super accessible and affordable, especially to us actors living on a budget but still want to live like our boho lifestyle, go check out this playlist right here. There's some really fun ones, and I don't know about y'all, but watching craft videos and renovation videos and things about home life is really soothing me in this kind of like nesting period that we all have. So if it's soothing me, I'm hoping that it will also soothe you, so go check those out. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all in my next video, which is probably right over there, and peace. Bye.